In my first year living in Vietnam, I told my host mother, I love you. The room went silent. She just looked at me, smiled a little awkwardly, and then asked me a question that completely changed how I understood affection. It wasn't, do you mean it? Or, that's so sweet. It was, con ăn cơm chưa? Have you eaten rice yet? In Vietnam, those three little words, I love you, are almost never spoken between family members. But that doesn't mean love isn't there. It's just communicated in a language you might not recognize at first, a language spoken not with words, but with soup, fruit, and a full bowl of rice.
Imagine this. You come home after a long, exhausting day. In a Western family, you might get a hug, a how was your day? In a Vietnamese home, the first thing you'll hear, almost guaranteed, is, did you eat yet? It's the standard greeting after school, after work, even over the phone. A friend calls you not to ask, what's up, but, are you hungry? I'm eating this amazing pho. It sounds almost transactional, like they're just checking a box, but you have to listen to what's underneath the question. It's not about logistics, it's about well-being. It's a verbal scan to ensure you are safe, provided for, and content. The question is a key, unlocking a deeper layer of communication. You'll see grandmothers who barely make eye contact, but will spend 5 hours simmering a perfect broth just for you. It's a love that's felt in the gut before it's ever processed by the brain. But this isn't just a quirky habit, it's a code born from a history of hardship. So why did food become the language of love?
For much of its history, Vietnam was a country defined by scarcity. Decades of war, colonialism, and famine meant that a full stomach was never a guarantee. For our grandparents' generation and even our parents, hunger was a real, tangible memory. Love wasn't an abstract feeling to be declared, it was a practical act of survival. Keeping your family fed was the single most important mission. Saying, I love you was a luxury when the more urgent message was, here is food, you will survive another day. The act of placing a piece of meat from a shared dish into someone else's rice bowl during a family meal is a direct echo of this past. It's a powerful gesture that says, I am looking out for you. I am giving you the best part of what we have. This history is baked into the culture. It created a generation that expresses care through action, not assertion. And while Vietnam is now a nation of abundance, this legacy of love as provision is everywhere. But if history forged this connection, how does it show up now in a world of overflowing street food stalls and grab delivery? It's not just about big meals. The true poetry of Vietnamese food love is in the small, almost invisible gestures. Watch a Vietnamese father after dinner. He might not ask his daughter about her day, but he will quietly sit down with a pomelo or a mango, a small paring knife in hand. He'll spend 10 minutes methodically peeling it, cutting it into perfect bite-sized pieces, arranging them on a plate, and placing it on the table for everyone. No announcement is made. He just does it. This is not about hunger. Everyone just ate. This is a pure act of service. It says, I am thinking of you, and I want to make your life a little easier, a little sweeter. The peeled orange is a silent, I love you. It's the effort, the anticipation of someone else's needs. It's a love that doesn't need to be the center of attention. It's a quiet background hum of constant care. But it feels so indirect. Why go through all that trouble instead of just saying the words? The answer reframes the entire concept of love itself. Here's the reframe. In many Western cultures, love is a feeling that needs to be declared. The words I love you are a peak moment, a confirmation. In Vietnamese culture, love is a series of actions that make the declaration unnecessary. Words can be fleeting, empty. Làm, the verb to do, is more powerful than nói, the verb to say. A Vietnamese parent might think, why do I need to say I love you? I have spent 18 years cooking for you, staying up when you were sick, and saving every penny for your education. Are my actions not clear enough? The declaration can almost feel redundant, even a little suspicious. It's like describing a beautiful painting instead of just letting someone see it. The proof is in the broth, not the boast. The love is in the labor. It's a fundamentally different philosophy. Love isn't something you say, it's something you do, consistently, day after day. But what happens when this silent language is put to the test in the modern world? I saw it firsthand with my friend, An.
My friend Anne, a graphic designer in Saigon, caught a terrible flu last year. He was living alone, feeling miserable, and called his mom, who lived an hour away, just to let her know he was sick. She didn't say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," or "I love you, get better soon." She just said, "Okay," and hung up. Anne felt a little hurt by the abruptness. But 2 hours later, his doorbell rang. It was his mom. She was standing there, not with flowers or a card, but with a massive insulated pot, still steaming. She had driven her motorbike for an hour through chaotic traffic to bring him a pot of chow ga, chicken rice porridge, slow cooked with ginger and scallions. She didn't come inside, she just handed him the pot, put a hand on his forehead to check his temperature, and said, "Eat this, it's hot." That was it. That pot of chow wasn't just food, it was medicine, it was comfort, it was an hour-long motorbike journey. It was a love so fierce and practical, it didn't need a single adjective. And this isn't just about family. This language of care spills out into the entire society. This food-centric love language extends far beyond the family home. How do you make friends in Vietnam? You invite them to eat. The entire social fabric is woven together with shared meals, from street-side snails to raucous nyao sessions that last for hours. Business deals aren't closed in boardrooms, they're sealed over a hot pot. When a colleague goes on vacation, they don't just bring back stories, they bring back a box of local specialty cakes or dried fruit for the entire office. This act of sharing food is a constant low-level affirmation of community and connection. It says, "I thought of you while I was away. We are part of the same group." It's the reason that when you visit someone's home, the first thing they do is offer you tea and a plate of fruit or candy. Rejecting it is more than just saying no thanks. It's a rejection of their gesture of hospitality and care. So when you're in Vietnam, you start to realize love isn't a private whisper between two people. It's a public feast served on a plastic stool on a crowded sidewalk. So the thing to remember is this. In Vietnam, love isn't a 3-word phrase. It's a 5-word question. Have you eaten rice yet? It's a question that carries the weight of history, the warmth of family, and the quiet promise of care. It means, are you okay? Are you safe? Have I done enough to provide for you? So next time you're with a Vietnamese family and the words "I love you" are never said, listen for the questions about food. Listen for the sound of a knife peeling a mango. That's where the love is. If this helped you see Vietnam a little differently, consider subscribing. We have a lot more to explore together.